Welcome back, Shalligators. It seems like there's a ton going on in Hollywood this week. None of it really merits like its own deep dive. So I figured this video, we're gonna do something a little different. We're just gonna kind of round up the stuff that's going on with celebs and do some rants. And if we learn some stuff in the process, great. If not, who fucking cares? Because sometimes you just gotta rant. But I just wanna let you know, I have the solo travel video coming for you guys this weekend. How to travel by yourself. And actually, there was one topic that you guys suggested on my Instagram, because I asked you, there's a lot going on this week, and I got like 500 different answers. But one that kept coming up a lot was Kylie's boob job confession, which I didn't talk about when it came out, when the Kardashians finished their season. It was in their season finale. So we can file that under N for no shit, Kylie. No shit. No shit. So I did a full deep dive on that. And I feel like I should also do a deep dive on how the Kardashians on the show, you'll have like the sisters hyping Kylie up almost to gaslight us into thinking that woman has a personality. Kylie is literally so funny. Oh, I know. She's so funny. I'm not even doing the Kardashians. I'm doing Yuri Lamasbella, like, not the funny, doing them. Like I don't know the Kardashians anymore. I just know Yuri. If you follow her on Instagram, you know what I mean. They're like, Kylie's literally, she's got so much personality. And then it cuts to Kylie and she's like, just a face unclouded by thought. Yeah, just, you know, it's like fun to have fun. The fun, just, yeah. Ooh. That's Kylie. People don't have to sit around and talk about how much personality I have. I feel like it's kind of there. And just another thing about Kylie. I know I've said this before, but bears repeating. Can you give me one adjective to describe her personality? We've known her since she was 9. One adjective, just one. Is she sarcastic? Is she goofy? Is she ballsy? Is she altruistic? Is she brutally honest? Is she a narcissist? There is nothing to that woman. The only thing I think I can tell you for sure about Kylie is that she seems like a really good mom. She seems like a great mom. She seems like she loves having those kids. I would rather spend 2 months in Guantanamo Bay than have sex with Travis Scott, even half a time, even just the foreplay. I find him not hot. Not hot. Of all the men out there that she could pick, of all the men. But they make cute babies. So, you know, hey, man. Can't knock that hustle. All right, we're gonna get into it, but before we do, you guys, join the Shallon Entourage. It's our little fan group on the internet. If you are looking to make friends, make some connections, maybe it's difficult for you to make friends in real life, maybe you don't live someplace where you vibe with the people, maybe you just move someplace new, the Shallon Entourage is the place for you. Because listen, we're on all these group chats. We just talk about absolutely everything. We're talking about like fillers and Botox today. We're talking about pillars of compatibility, because I did a story time about the new guy that I'm dating and why I don't think, I'm worried it's not going to work because we just are really different in the way we recreate. And it doesn't sound like a big deal. Oh, you don't have the same hobbies. But it kind of is. So I'm breaking down the 5 pillars of compatibility on there. I'm telling you about a breakup I recently went through. I was crying at the spa. So, you know, you get 5 bonus videos and, like I said, access to all these group chats, and you make friends and make connections and just talk about things. And people don't like have a history of knowing you. You know, it's not like your friends from college where they have these preconceived notions and they're never going to let you forget the time you threw up in Applebee's and whatever. So come join us. It's really such a great little community. It's so supportive. Okay, let's talk about some stuff that's going on. All right, first things first, let's follow up on Lizzo. So we talked last time about Lizzo and the sexual and fat shaming allegations against her. Now, you guys have pointed out a lot of detail in the comments on that, because my position, and you know I do not like Lizzo. I think she's the queen of obesity and weakness and delusionality, and I think she's dying by her own sword, as the woke usually do. You surround yourself with similarly weak victim narrative losers, honestly, and of course they're gonna fucking turn on you because they need attention. There's no loyalty. There's no loyalty amongst victims. But yet, in spite of me not liking her, I don't think that she should be sued. And I don't even think she should be canceled. There's a lot of people out there who like Lizzo. I don't know who these people are. Would rather not have them in my life. But like, she fills some sort of niche. I don't know, man. Whatever. And a lot of you guys pointed out the weight shaming that she did for the dancer, the fat shaming, when this girl gained weight, this dancer gained weight. And keep in mind, they're already all completely fat. Like, they're not like these hard-bodied people. They're not. She hired them. She did a whole reality show searching for fat dancers. She found them. And, you know, the indictment was, how the fuck can Lizzo call somebody fat? Like, what? Well, apparently this fat shaming was her saying to someone on her team, is that girl okay? That's what it was. Is she all right? Something of that nature. I'm sure you guys can tell me precisely in the comments. But from what I understand, she wasn't like, you are fat and you've gained weight. Now, other people are coming forward saying that that basically is what she's been doing. And Lizzo canceled, she dropped out of a festival in New York. She was supposed to headline it. And she's also, according to a new story in the Daily Mail, she's been dropped from consideration for the Super Bowl. I asked you guys on my Instagram, what do you think about this? Is this fair? And I gave the option of, yes, this is fair. Like, fuck her. No, this isn't fair. Innocent until proven guilty. Or, no, it's not fair, but I also kind of don't like her, so fucking whatever. Get her out of there. And speaking of this, I am going to do my weight loss journey update video. I don't even want to call it my Ozempic update video because Ozempic really doesn't factor that much into my body at this point in terms of weight loss and the changing shape of my body. It's actually the gym. So that was supposed to be a lot more impressive. I thought I was going to really have the guns, but it's okay. We're working hard. So that's what's going on with Lizzo. Tell me if you think that this is like, you know, inappropriate, that she's basically getting canceled. Again though, the irony. Weapon formed against you actually usually do prosper. Okay. We gotta talk about Kyle Richards. All right. Do you guys watch Real Housewives of Beverly Hills? I don't, but you probably, even if you don't watch it, know who Kyle Richards is. She is Paris Hilton's aunt. She's got long, dark, swingy hair. She's been married to this real estate guru, Mauricio Umansky, who is a smoke. I mean, this guy is a smoke. And they've been married forever. They have all these kids, and their marriage seems good. You know, I mean, is as good and as jazzy as it can be when you've been married since Jesus was a baby, right? So there's been all of this evidence. I won't say rumors. I'll say evidence about her potential affair with this country singer named Morgan Wade. Evidently, Kyle and Mauricio are splitting up. They're not wearing their wedding bands. There's a lot of blood in the water about this. And the receipts for her and Morgan are like, they are beyond reproach. They have matching tattoos. Kyle gave her a watch that we have seen in episodes. I mean, it's, girl, come on. Now you could say, well, they're just friends. Kyle's got a lot of friends. Kyle has had a lot of friends. We don't see these kind of connections. And then, of course, now, the nail that seems to be in the coffin is Morgan Wade came out with a music video called, I think, like The Love of My Life. It looks stupid. And it's like a fucking gross soft porn cringe fiasco. Blech. This isn't an anti-lesbian thing. I am a bisexual. I've dated plenty of lesbians. This is just a cringe lord thing. This is a cringe lord gross thing. Because here is my rant on this. If there is nothing going on between Kyle and Morgan, why would you like do something so demonstrative and like gossipy? Clearly people are going to latch onto this and just like, again, blood in the water, go for it. If it wasn't true, like what a fuck you to your partner. This person who has probably come up in some very contentious conversations because they've heard the rumors and the rumor mill will not shut the fuck up about this. You're gonna go and double down and pour gas on the fire and do this incredibly weird, again, like suspicious, incendiary music video? That's what a wife does? Dude, even if they're splitting up, that is not what a strategic person who's getting divorced does. I would expect them to hang me out to dry. I'm taking all the cars and all the houses and all the portfolio. It's not the hornet's nest I'd poke at this juncture, Kyle. And for what? We're just really good friends. She keeps saying that. All right, weirdo. I wouldn't do that if I was going to stay with this person, my husband, because it's so disrespectful. And I'd do it even less if I was getting divorced, man, and I had a court case looming. And I guess Mauricio commented like fire emojis, like so good or whatever. I don't believe that shit for a second. I don't believe that shit for a second. And dude, even if you're cool with this, you're a cuck, my man. You look like a cuck. You look like a simp whose wife is getting pulled by a lesbian. You're getting simped on by a woman. That's a bad look too. At least if you're getting cheated on, man, you're the victim. And Jeff Lewis, who does a show called Flipping Out, he's another Bravo reality star. He was on, I think, Watch What Happens Live, and he called Kyle a lesbian on Ozempic. As a bisexual on Ozempic. Takes one to know one. I get it. But I guess she's like furious about it. She's denied Ozempic. Clearly she's on it or was on it. And you know what? Who fucking cares? She looks amazing. She looks really fit, so it looks like she's going to the gym. If she stopped taking it, she hasn't gained weight back. And she was never like fat, but she is like cut up right now. Same with Erica Jane, another housewife of Los Angeles who is clearly taken it. And she had the audacity to not blame, credit menopause. Menopause is what made her drop 40 something pounds. Looks like she dropped. Menopause makes you fat. It fucks your hormones. I know women who are going through menopause and they're like, I've gained this like pot belly. And these are fit women. They're like, I've gained this pot belly. I can't get rid of it. I'm putting on weight. My hair is purple. Erica Jane, you're a liar. Maybe the common thread in everything I'm going to talk about today is just, you're a liar. Speaking of, so many of you guys, when I asked you on my Instagram, what topics have been on your mind? So many of you said Bella Hadid. Let's go to the Instagram. So Bella Hadid, who has an incredible history of lying about her body. She lies about her body, right? She has lied forever about all of her plastic surgery. Scan my face, darling. What the fuck with what? What are you talking about? This isn't TSA. I haven't had a facelift or like the fox eye brow lift. It's tape. The oldest story in the book. She always said the oldest trick in the book, it's tape. In like these tight buns where you can see the entirety of her hairline, her face. Where would the tape be? Where would the tape be? Embedded into your skull? What are you talking about? So listen, if we know one thing about liars, and I will tell, if you don't know this, let me tell you, because I've learned it. If someone lies about something, they'll lie about a lot of things. I know. And listen, we all lie to get out of trouble. We all lie to keep the peace. That's not what that is. That's not what that is. This is what I call like a structural lie. It is propping up some sort of aspect of your personality or your persona. This is a house that you built on a lie, and you need to maintain that property for a reason. It is in some ways sheltering you. Okay? Feel free to copyright this. Structural lie. Her mother is actually another Real Housewife of Beverly Hills. How do we keep coming back here? Yolanda Foster. Now, Yolanda Hadid, whoever the fuck she's calling herself. She's the woman that Zayn Malik, Gigi Hadid's ex, called a Dutch slut in the heat of some horrible argument. If someone called my mom a Dutch slut, first of all, she's Italian. If they called her any kind of slut, that would be the last day they could chew solid food. That would be the last fucking day they could chew solid food. Because they get a 2x4 in the face. I don't even have a 2x4. I would go to Home Depot and I would acquire one. I would have them carve a little like a dent in there for my hands. I could get a baseball bat, but I really feel like there's just more panache with a 2x4. Anyway, that's how I do it. Yolanda made her persona her Lyme disease. Now, I've told you guys before, I am a Yolanda Hadid Lyme disease truther. I am. My old boss at Star, because he was the ultimate Yolanda truther, and we jointly went down these CDC reporting rabbit holes because she claimed that in, I think it was 2014, I want to say, not just her, not just Gigi, but Bella, and I believe Anwar as well. Everyone in her family got Lyme disease that summer. That is I was checking the stats for California, okay? And there are 32 million people in California, and the incidence of Lyme disease was under 300, I want to say. In Connecticut, that same year, it was 1,400, okay? Lyme disease. And Connecticut's like this big compared to California. I am assuming they were in California. Now, a lot of you guys have pointed out in the past, like they could have been on their farm in Pennsylvania. This is true. This is true. They could be. I'd be curious to know those statistics. Even if they were in a place where it was statistically 1,400, infections that year, you're telling me 4 of those came in the exact same household, the exact same time? The same time, not everyone who gets bitten by a tick gets Lyme disease. I'm sorry, I just don't believe it. I don't believe it. I believe maybe one person in that family has it. At the very, very outside, 2, I do not believe everyone in that household got Lyme disease. I don't. I believe they got a mother with Munchausen. That's what I believe they got. I believe they got a mother who can't stand that she's fading out of the spotlight. She was a great beauty. She's still incredibly beautiful. That she can't deal with not being the queen top model anymore. She was never really that. I mean, she wasn't like Linda Evangelista. That her children, she's now living through her children like a classic narcissist, which is usually rooted in what the world thinks of you and low self-esteem. Sounds pretty on brand for a model and someone who would go on Real Housewives, right? This is not exactly a rare personality type that you get on these kinds of shows and situations. That she shifted and was like, people are still going to look at me. They're still going to focus on my body. Fuck it. If it's not beauty, it'll be pity. What is the difference? Attention is attention. And I believe that this sort of pathology is actually quite contagious, perhaps more so than Lyme disease, because Bella Hadid is all over her Instagram doing treatments, posting literally her medical records, which I think is very strange to post on Instagram when you're someone as large as her. I think it's strange to do no matter what. Her like medical history. Number one thing, she starts this post out. The little me that suffered would be so proud of grown me for not giving up on myself. Thankful to my mommy for keeping all my records, my medical records, sticking by me, never leave my side, protecting, supporting. Also her comma placement is all over the place. But most of all, believing me through all of this. What an incredibly bizarre thing to say. What an incredibly bizarre way to phrase all of your medical problems. Thank you for keeping my medical records. And ending with, thank you for believing me. Where have we heard that phrase before? Oh yeah, it's the title of Yolanda Hadid's book, Believe Me. My Journey Through Lyme Disease. Believe me. Listen, I don't have Lyme disease, and I know it's a very pesky illness to get diagnosed. Maybe there is this chronic thing of people aren't being believed. And if you're going through it, doctors like, I don't know, we can't see anything under the microscope. I don't know what the fuck you think is wrong with you, but we can't find anything. Maybe that's true. Or maybe there's a reason people don't believe Yolanda Hadid. Maybe there's a reason people don't believe Bella. I don't know, maybe not. But I think it's a very odd phrasing. She also cannot figure out how commas and spacing works and periods. How are people this uneducated? I mean, I just don't understand that. You know how I am about commas. What do you guys think? What do you think of people who share their medical situation this publicly? Do you think it's brave? Do you think it's cringe? Do you think it's sus? What do you think? I honestly think Bella probably has something, but I think her mom maybe was like, I don't know. But I don't know what the monster is under the bed, but I know that there is one. I'm a pretty good judge of character. I'm usually right. But here's another topic you guys suggested. Shallon, you always love to say when you told us so and that you were right. What about when you're wrong? Like with Johnny Depp versus Amber Heard, you were wrong in that one. I don't think I was. I don't think I was wrong. So we did do a video on Johnny Depp and Amber Heard, and I really didn't want to do one for a very long time. I think I did. I didn't want to do one for a very long time because my thesis about those two has been and continues to be, they're both so fucking nuts. They're both demonic, monstrous, toxic liars. They are. And I think just because Johnny won the court case doesn't mean that he's like this angel. Did you watch his testimony? It was like something from inside the actor's studio. My mother was a single mom. Like, what does that have to do with anything? What are you talking about? They're both professional actors, professional liars. They're both narcissists. They're both probably drug addicts and alcoholics. You know, I don't think that someone winning a court case means that they're not guilty as well or complicit in the outcomes. What do you guys think about those two? Now let's move on to something else that's in the legal field. Megan Thee Stallion versus Tori Lanez. Is that how you say it? I always want to say Lanae, like French for the nose. Tori the nose. You know his real name is Daystar? That's such a cool name. Why would you go by Tori? That's a woman's name. That's a political party in Britain. Daystar. You're a star in the day. It's like being named Archangel. Like that's fucking cool. It's like Iggy Azalea's real name is Amethyst. That's cool. What are you doing? Iggy is horrible. Girl, bye. So Tori Lanae was convicted of shooting Megan Thee Stallion. You know how I am with grammar. You know, I love her. I think she's really cool. She has a degree. She got her college degree in old people sciences or something. It's adorable. So he's now been sentenced to 10 years and he is not sorry. He's like, I'm not going to apologize for something I didn't do. Dude, you shot her. The data is good. You shot her. She didn't shoot herself. You shot her. That's the thing with shootings. The data's good. It's not like maybe you defrauded me. Maybe you raped me. You shot someone, man. So, okay. What do you think about this case? Because I know there has been a lot of sort of controversy about Megan's best friend recanting and that maybe Megan was doing something shady. And we've done a video about it. I really, you know, in that situation, I don't know what I would do if I was in Megan's position. When you are holding someone's life in your hand and you have the option to pursue all this legal action or you have the option to drop the charge, I truly don't know what I would do. I don't know if the feeling of cowardice for not pursuing it would feel better than the guilt of sending someone, she used to sleep with him, sending someone you know and were close to prison for a decade. I truly don't know. Guilt is a tricky thing. And I will tell you, guilt is not an emotion I have felt very much in my life. You guys know, I have some sort of like moral blind spots. They're just not there. I don't behave horribly because society has conditioned me not to, but in like some sort of warlord vacuum, I'm not a particularly ethical person. I am a moral person. What's the difference? Okay, so ethics are something that is external. Ethics are something society decides, and ethics can change based on the environment. Like stealing is bad. Well, this person's starving. They're stealing to feed their family. You know, that's why you study ethics in college and you take these classes, because you can debate these issues on and on and on. This is Greek philosophy. Morals are something that come from the inside out. My moral compass. I will not litter. I will not ever litter. Not ever. Oh, I'll kill someone. We talked about the 2x4. We talked about it. But when the crime is over, I will pick up that 2x4 and I will dispose of it in a proper receptacle. I will not just leave it lying around. So, what are your ethics versus morals? I don't think that we as people, modern people, sit and ask ourselves that anymore. What is my code of ethics as I define it, my code of conduct in society? And what is my moral code? And these are two circles, the Venn diagram. Where do these intersect? Ideally, I guess we could say they overlap. Society wants these perfectly to overlap. I truly, in my heart of hearts and every fiber of my being, organically want to obey every single law that is set forth for me. Every single social construct I am authentically into. I don't think that that's realistic. I think many of us can get down with the concept of it's wrong to steal, but if you're feeding your family, it's wrong to kill, but if you come against me or someone I love, you know? And I think these are really interesting sort of debates. And like I said, I don't think most of us sit down and decide, what is my personal code of ethics? Have you ever worked for a corporation and they have a mission statement? What's our mission statement here at Jiffy Lube? To provide the customer with an unforgettable, outstanding oil experience. Shut the fuck up, right? Dumbass companies that change your oil sit down and they come up with a mission statement. Have you as a human being come up with one yourself? Have you? Have you tried it? Have you thought about it? Because listen, the reason this is important is because when I break ethics, the law. No. What is this? Who is playing this? Sorry. If I break ethical protocol as society has deemed it, I feel okay about it because I think to myself, what society says does not line up with my morals. Doesn't line up with my morals, right? Abortion could be illegal. That does not line up with my morality of total body autonomy. All right? So in that sense, I will help people get an illegal abortion. I will break those laws. I will rise up against that because of my morality trumps the ethics that I am confronted with. And because of that, because I know where I fall morally, when people try to shame me for breaking the ethics, I'm like, you are appealing to emotions I do not have. I have already co-signed and shipped this behavior because it aligns with my morals. Fuck your ethics. I don't answer to you. I answer to me and my gods. And that's it. That's it. However, we see things that are vice versa. There's a lot of things that are legal, but they're not right. And so it's like, just because that's legal, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it because it doesn't align with my morals. And that's where we butt up against peer pressure. So the opposite ends of this spectrum is guilt. Oh, I should open. Or it's peer pressure. Guilt is you should feel guilty for not falling in line. I don't, because I've checked with my own moral compass and it's not pointing in that direction. The opposite is we're going to peer pressure you into doing something that is legal, that is part of our approved ethics, but it doesn't line up with your morality. For me, one of those things is weed. And I know I sound like such a square. I don't think weed is good for society. I don't. It is directly linked to schizophrenia in young men. I think it makes people lazy, so fucking boring. Like, oh, I'm high. Do you want to look at this blacklight poster? No, I don't, CJ. No, I don't. You're boring. I don't think it's good for society. I just don't. I don't think it's good for society. I don't think you should go to jail, but just because it's legal to me does not mean it's positive. And people who are like, you're such a square. Go fuck yourself. Get me off of this peer pressure end of this spectrum because again, you're appealing to an emotion I don't have. I guess you could count both of these emotions as guilt. I'm guilty. I feel guilty if I don't fall in line. I feel guilty if I don't fall in line, right? But when you can come up with your own moral code and you can make it really loose, go down the list of commandments. I don't know, start someplace. Then you become a lot more bulletproof. And then you are operating for your vibration and not anybody else's. That's when you become an alpha. Leadership is risk in service of authenticity. Leadership is risk. I'm not at this end, I'm not at this end. In service of authenticity. And that starts with coming up with your moral code. Okay, here's a topic you guys brought up a lot. Megan Fox's new book. Yes, she wrote a book. Answering the question nobody asked. It's called Pretty Boys Are Poisonous. I would have liked it better, Pretty Boys Are Poison. Poisonous, it gets a little clunky. Pretty Boys Are Poison. Pretty Boy Poison. That could be a merch. You guys want that as merch? Do you guys want that as merch? Pretty Boy Poison. I kind of like that. Don't sue me, Megan. You know I'm going to make something better than you can make it. So this is the cover. Looks like she drew it herself. I'm sure she did. I wrote a book, Heartbreaking. It's out November 7th. So this is the description. God help us all. These poems, they're poems. Wow. Yay. Poems. These poems were written in an attempt to excise, big word, the illness that had taken root in me because of my silence. I've spent my entire life keeping the secrets of men. My body aches from carrying the weight of their sins. My freedom lives in these pages, and I hope that my words can inspire others to take back their happiness and their identity by using their voice to illuminate what's been buried but not forgotten in the darkness. All right. Some of this I love. Some of this I want to scratch my own eyes out. I'm sure you can guess which parts. Excise the illness that has taken root in me because of my silence. What silence? What silence? You have 21.4 million followers. You're not oppressed. You're not silenced. But all right, you know what? You know what? You know what? Before she's a celebrity, she's a woman, right? And she was out of the spotlight for a really long time, raising 3 kids who she dresses like girls. Don't even get me fucking started. So, okay. She's got something to say. I've spent my entire life keeping the secrets of men. My body aches from carrying the weight of their sins. Honestly, I feel that. I feel that. I feel like that is me and my ex Tom. If you're in the Shallon Entourage, you know. But if not, I've talked about him a lot. He's my ex who deals with so much addiction. And I'm sorry. Did I say he deals with it? No, he doesn't deal with it. I deal with it. His family deals with it. His friends that he has left, his coworkers. He doesn't deal with it. He creates it. He doesn't actually deal with it though. He suffers some of the consequences, but actually the people who love him suffer from a lot more of them. So when Megan says that my body aches from the weight of the sins, I get that. I really get that. I get that we are just these receptacles for all of men's poor behavior. I have described Tom to his face, and I've since described a lot of people like this. Men are like, I said, Tom, I was like, you're like a child. You're like a toddler. You're both fragile and reckless at the same time. And what does a child need? A mommy. Don't touch it. Take it out of your mouth. Put your pants back up. Put your weenus away. Yeah, there were a lot of those conversations. I think we can all identify with this. I mean, did you see the tweet that went around on Instagram? I didn't know that my first experience with motherhood would be parenting my 30-year-old boyfriend. Right? Oh, I get that. I feel that. Right? You know, I get what she's saying. However, you look at the choices Megan makes. Machine Gun Kelly, who, he's like one of those albino ferrets up on its hind legs. You know what I mean? No shit, girl. You got to parent that man. No shit. Look at him. Listen to him. Like, no shit. But then, counterpoint, men are terrible and ridiculous at any age. Age is not a marker of maturity, and that is what's really sad. And the reason I recently called it quits with Tom is because when I had my Barbie party, I hired these frat guys who I met at a rodeo to bartend. They're 19, okay? They could have been Tom's father. For their maturity and their communicativeness and their respectfulness and how complimentary they were, I looked at Tom, who was acting an absolute fool at that party, and I looked at these boys and I was like, you're not a teenager. That's a teenager. You're not a teenager. You're 32 years old. What the fuck? And even the boys were like, you dated that guy? Shallon. And one of them said to me, he's like, I don't even act like that. And you know what, Shallon? I never have. None of our frat brothers act like that. That man is not a man. A 19-year-old drug me to hell. And he was right. And it's so true. It's like, we can trash these younger men, and some of them deserve it, and lionize older guys. They're just going to be so mature. Where the fuck are you getting that from? I can tell you firsthand, that is not true. That's not true. I wish it was true. I wish there was some sort of directive for sure that if you get a guy who is XYZ, he is employed, he is older, he is divorced, whatever it might be, whatever you're filling in the blanks with, that is not a guaranteed outcome. It should be, but it's not. So personally, I do not want to read a book of poems by anyone born after 1970. I don't know. Maybe Drake's. Would you read Drake's book of poetry? I'm sure it's gonna be awful. He's at least a rapper. He makes rhymes for a living. Okay. Megan, I feel like Megan falls into this classic hot girl trap of she is so fucking weird, because when she does weird stuff, guys are like, ha, 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 ha. Like, they don't care. They're not even listening. She's like, I eat kittens. And they're like, ha, 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 you're so pretty. They're not fucking listening, Megan. So she's been yay-sayed her whole life that everything she does is cool. It's literally because you're pretty, girl. And that's okay. That's great. Pretty privilege is real. I love it. I hope to benefit from it one day myself. But please just understand that maybe the poems will be good. I don't know. Maybe the poems will be good. And the boob job video is coming soon. Like I said, join the Shallon Entourage if you want to make some friends. I'm also obviously on all the chats, so you can connect with me and chit chat. You get access to all of Evil Week last year, the dating app course, our sex session tutorials, and of course, so many Shalligators who are just waiting to be friends and welcome you. All right, Shalligators, I will see you later.